Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the Western Bulldogs versus Carlton game, in which Western Bulldogs came out and did a Western Bulldogs winning when no one thought they would, as Carlton drop another game, and that just closes this gap up more and more. There's 2 games and percentage separating 2nd and 13th. And realistically speaking, it is like very tight between 2nd and like 9th or whatever it is. 9th and 2nd are basically separated by a game, effectively. If you win a game by 40, 50 points, and 2nd, say Carlton loses to North Melbourne, which could happen, don't think it will, and Port Adelaide beat Richmond, and Port Adelaide smoke Richmond by, say, 80 points, and Carlton just lose to North, then I think Port would jump Carlton there. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure that would be the case. It might need to actually, now be thinking about it, might need to be a little bit more of a smashing, but maybe like 120 points, but it's still around about that marker of within realms of one game flipping it. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this recap. So, as some of you may have seen, I did go for Tim English in fantasy. 1, because I wanted the extra cash, just because I was a little bit worried, and 2, about like upgrades and stuff like that. 2, I also thought after seeing that performance from Geelong, I was like, well, they just disregard the ruck. So let's just go and end up grabbing a guy who's got a decent enough run, who's a good enough scorer, and that doesn't have too many qualms about him. Like, I didn't really like the Sherry matchup against Grundy, but I liked the English matchup, even against double rucks, and I thought he's got the likes of Geelong coming up, so he should be able to score well. And it didn't look too good early. He was on 18 at quarter time, and even that 18, yeah, it just didn't look good. But then second quarter, he started really getting those non-disposal points that we love from him to get. 6 marks, 5 tackles, 32 hit-outs, 111. He looked really good. Supercoach-wise, I think he butchered the ball, didn't get too many hit-outs to advantage. But anyway, that sucks. And he'll be one that gets back to it anyway. And maybe I just switch my focus to fantasy at this point in the season, and Supercoach can be Supercoach, given that there's not much I can actually really do on Supercoach anymore. Dale, 34, 41, 9, 19. That might have been almost the biggest ton evasion that we have seen. I know that, I know that Bont missed one from about 70 last year or early this year. I think it might have been last year. And it was kind of crazy. And this was on the same path here with 9 and then 19. If he didn't get these 2 late things, he would have been stuck on 98. And that would have been quite funny. Bont and Pelly, 100 clean, 13, 30, 23, 34. Glad that I didn't go for him in Supercoach or Fantasy for the captaincy option, as that was potentially an option. But against Carlton, they were a little bit more restrictive, but it was Bont in a way. So you could have just thought, it's Bont, he's going to go off. And he almost carried his side. One of the goals he kicked from a hit-out straight from English was kind of freaky over his head. So yeah, he's just a freak of nature in the end, and he's gonna run close with the Brownlow. I think that probably Cripps gets 2 votes in this game. Bont might even get 3 for his effort here. I don't know if Cripps will get 2 just because he was on the losing side, but who knows with that, as there wasn't really an outstanding player from Western Bulldogs, much like that was from Paddy Cripps. But Bont ended up winning the game, and he's their predominant mid, so he probably gets the 3 votes. Hugo Hagen here, doesn't really matter, but it was good to see him coming of age again. Just another one of those breakout performances, much like I said with McDonald. I'm intrigued to see how he goes in the future, as I really rate him highly. Sam Darcy as well, another guy, 1 goal, 2. He just stuffs every stat sheet possible. 16 touches, 5 marks, 4 tackles, 5 hit-outs, 4 free kicks, 1 goal, 2. So basically 8 to 10 points in like every single department, like 8 to 15 points. 30 from kicks, 12 from handballs, 15 from marks, 16 from tackles, 5 hit-outs, 4 free kicks, 4, and then 8 points from goals and behind. He just does everything. Poulter had a pretty good game. West, Richards, 73. So those who have Richards, this sort of experiment has sort of faded out a little bit, I would say now, after he got himself injured. And then 93, 90, 68, 73 kind of failed. McRae, I just cannot wait to see him at a new club. because at a new club he might get that inside mid role that he needs, as he is just sucking at the moment. Drea Liberatore, only 68, so they just somehow won with their main mids doing bugger all. Caulfield, 68, McNeil, Sanders. I'm interested to see how Sanders goes in year 2 and year 3 as they start to, well, Bont's, 29, Libba and Treloar into their 30s. McRae is, I would hazard a guess, 29 or 28 as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Sanders gets more and more midfield time as they really progress, as I think he's one that can be a 100, 110 guy. It just might take year 4, year 5, year 6 for that to occur, rather than the instant Nick Dacos. Nick Dacos spent a year at the halfback, and then second year he moved more into the midfield. But I don't think Sanders will be that quick. As well as even like Ashcroft is showing a lot better signs. Ashcroft is year 2, but Ashcroft showed a lot better signs in year 1 as well. Bramble, Lobb, Karmas, Waitman, Fraser. Fraser I thought was alright as well. Just didn't need him anymore and jumped off of him, and glad that I did, as I gained, 60 odd points or so to hit off of him. 61. Williams, Vandermeer, Gallagher, Treloar as well, late out. And this was absolutely huge, and I'm really happy that I didn't grab him in the end, as I didn't actually know about this till the game started. But that would have really pissed me off if I had done that, especially because I was just in the car when I saw the notification right when the ball was about to be bounced. So yeah, there would have been no way that I would have been able to change that. I did advise people to go for Treloar, but I didn't know that he was going to pull up with an injured, hammy or calf or something. Cripps is absolutely a man mountain. He just puts his whole team on his back, and yeah, he's just amazing to watch when he actually goes into full flight. Watching that last quarter, or that second half in general, of him just taking the piss there. He was like a ruckman trying to tap it down to himself and then just run through the middle of the... It was like watching a guy literally do everything himself. Don't bother with the ruck work. I'll do the ruck work, I'll do the clearance work, and I'll do the delivery for the forwards. And then he was also kicking the goals as well. It was a one-man show, and they almost single-handedly won off that. It's like when Bont does it as well. These are two of the guys that can actually single-handedly win a game off their own self by doing everything. Wiedering 97, Nick Newman 97. After the start he had, it was really slow. And I guess you could, it's like we said with Dale, this is a ton of Asian of the highest order, 71 points in the first half. 53, he needed 47, he needed 15.67 points each quarter for the last 3, and he didn't get it. So yeah, that's a ton of Asian from Nick Newman. Curnow as well, 3 goals, 7. He kicked 3 goals, 7 with 10 marks, and didn't even get to the ton with 10 shots on goal. So yeah, he had a horrid night in front of the sticks, especially given that in the first quarter he was on 2, and then 41, 28, 29, he couldn't piece it together. Akers, Mackay, DeConing as well, another guy that we just didn't know what was going on there with that. Apparently it was like rumours and fake rumours and stuff made up purposely for Fancy and Supercoach people to be sort of worried. But I'm glad that I stayed clear of it just because of the points advantage already. But just in general, I think that DeConing could be rested given that he's already been managed before. And Carlton, if they get even a game or 2 clear with a game to go and there's no need to play him, they won't play him. They'll give him that extra week rest, given that they have it would be 2 weeks rest, because he could, if he goes solo in the finals, they go really well. Walsh, 88. I'm kind of annoyed that he just didn't do anything. Kemp, Sard, especially in the last quarter when it all mattered. Sard, Hollands as well got off to a really good start and then failed. But, he got to 95 Supercoach, so I'm not that pissed off about it. Chero, Pitnet, Chincotta, Hollands, Boyd, Cowan, Fogarty, Owies, Kennedy, Marchbank, Cottrell, and then Williams with another hammy, which was quite ironic because in the end, the reason why he was relevant in Fantasy and Supercoach was because of his hamstrings, I believe. And to tear or to strain another one was quite a little bit ironic. But anyway, that is pretty much the video there, going through this game. A little bit short, well, not really that short in the end, around the 10-minute mark, going through this one. But not really too much to talk about from Western Bulldogs perspective. English, Dale, Bontempelli, the only guys there. Carlton, probably Cripps and Newman. I thought Newman would be more of a pod or more of a good selection, but I mean, now that Duggan's gone down, he may actually be that guy that you can pivot to, especially with McGovern going down as well for West Coast. Maybe there's a West Coast Witherden that pops up for them as well, but we'll see about that one. Anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.